What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Seth the Lawn Surgeon, and you already know what time it is. Tipsy talk. Alright, people, as you can already see from the title, my truck broke down. And you know I might be laughing. And you're like, Seth, your truck broke down. How you gonna do business? How you gonna cut grass? I mean, but all you can do is be positive. You know what I mean? You're in business. Yes, your sole ability to make money relies on that truck and that trailer. So if one of those goes down, you don't make money. Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, you got to look at the positive side of things. So, you know, I told y'all about my little part-time gig. So I drove to work one night. And if you think this is gonna be a boring story, you better stay tuned. Anywho, I drove to work, my little part-time gig. I got, if you haven't seen it, check my old videos. Parked up, truck started fine, whatever. Came out 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Tried to start my truck. Click, click. You know, it wouldn't start. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, you know, maybe I left my light on or something. Maybe the battery's dead. So I asked my coworker, can you give me a jump? He said, yeah. So he tries to jump it, nothing happens. So I'm like, this is strange. But then I noticed that the headlights are bright. So it's not the battery. It's my starter. So, by the way, people always ask what's in the cup. Bird dog, as usual, as per usual. Anywho, yeah, so I figure it's a starter. Romeo, you know, I always talk about Romeo. Romeo's the guru of all things, not just cars and lawnmowers. He knows about all things. So he had, you know, he has an Armada, which is basically the same thing as my Titan, and he had to change his starter. Once I realized it was the starter, I'm like, oh man, because I changed the starter myself on the my green van. But I knew that the starter in the Titan is in the intake manifold. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. A Titan, 2010 Titan, changing the starter. It is not an easy job, you know. And so I already knew off top that I was going to have to take it to a shop, you know, so... and it wouldn't have been such a big deal, but like I said, you know, this past month for me business wise has been dry. And what I mean by dry, I don't mean by like, well, I mean that in two ways. Literally dry because it's just been hot, and usually in September we have a decent cool weather. We have some rain. The grass is back growing decently. This September it was just hot, and I was out of town for like 2 weeks doing stuff, and it was hot while I was out of town, and I would get back and the yard grass hadn't grown. And so coincidentally, people started calling me out the woodwork at the end of September. End of September, people, I gave somebody a quote 2 years ago. You know, they called me, hey, remember that quote you gave me 2 years ago? Somebody I worked with, another job, 2 years ago. Hey, can you come out and aerate and do all this and that? You know, people just started calling me out the woodwork. And my truck breaks down. But all you can do is laugh, because my thing is, I always look at the positive side of stuff. My truck could have broke down while I was out working. It could have broke down while I was out cutting. And now I would have had to not only worry about getting my truck towed, I would have to worry about getting my trailer towed. You get what I'm saying? So, alright, you know, it's a really good part to this story. Stay tuned. So, anyway, fast forward. The next day, I try to figure out. I call the shop, you know, and I asked them, hey, I need a starter for my Nissan Titan. They said, oh, we can order it, but it's 3 days out. I said, all right, cool. So they order it. The next day after that, I have to get it towed from my part-time job. Get it towed from there. And get it to the shop. The next day after that, now I'm contemplating. I'm like, bro, I've been sitting around for 2 days. I got thousands of dollars of worth of jobs on the table. I need to get some productivity done. So now I'm contemplating renting a truck. So I said, all right, I need to get my van inspected, the green van. So I said, all right, I'm gonna go get this green van inspected, then I'm gonna go take the green van and rent a truck, because I know my truck not be done for a couple of days. They probably gonna procrastinate about it or whatever. So I go to the exact same shop that I'm getting my potentially getting my truck fixed at, right? When I get there to get the green van inspected, they're working on my truck, changing the starter, and I'm like, yes. And so the whole reason I didn't want to do it myself is because it's a whole lot of stuff. Y'all know I try to do things myself. But if it's really complicated, I'm not gonna mess with it, because like it's like so much stuff I had to take apart just to get to the starter that I didn't know how to do, and I knew it would take me like a week. And they gave me a really good price on changing it, so I just went ahead and let them do it. So anywho, I get there, I sit for about an hour or so. They give me my van back, right? Give me my van back, and now I'm like, well, there's no point in me going and renting a rental truck, because they're gonna give me my van back today. You know what I mean? I could just go home. So I went home. One of my neighbors wanted me to do something for him. I did that, worked on that. Then I said I need to go to the bank. I need to run some errands. So I went out running some errands. While I'm out running errands, the shop calls me and says, hey, yeah, your truck's all ready to go. I'm like, yes, but I'm like, what you mean but? They say, yeah, your check engine light came on. Oh, and it says that there's a misfire in your engine. I'm like, oh, come on, bro. If it's not one thing, it's another, bro. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I said, I'll be there in a couple hours. So I go run my errands, blah, blah, blah. Go back to the shop. Go to the guy, talk to him. You know, the owner. He's like, I'm like, bro, like, because y'all got to remember, like, I'm not a mechanic. I'm a YouTube mechanic. If it's something within reach that I can fix, via watching a video on YouTube, I will do it. Starters, rotors, calipers, or whatever, I'll fix it. I just need a step-by-step video. You get what I'm saying? And so, let me adjust this. I don't know what's wrong with this camera. Anyway, I get back there. I talk to the owner, and I'm like, you know, I say, I'm like, explain to me exactly what a misfire is. So he's trying to explain it to me. Oh yeah, you gotta check the cylinder, you gotta check each cylinder, and this and that, and blah blah blah, you know. And he's telling to me like I need to go home and do this myself. And I'm like, bro, like you're speaking Japanese to me right now. I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm like, all right, just tell me, if it was your truck, what would you do? What should I do at this point? And he says, well, we can check all the cylinders for you, all the fuel injectors or whatever, for $180. And it's just like, the hair on the back of my neck just stands up. You know what I mean? It's like, something's not right. Because I start asking them questions. I go from that point and I start asking them questions. It's like, my truck ran fine before the starter went out. Why is it giving a misfire, which I do not even know what a misfire is? Why is it giving a misfire now? You get what I'm saying? And you know, I'm asking him this, and he's giving me all these fancy mechanical reasons why you could do it, but it's just not computing to me. It's just like A plus B is not equaling C. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, something's not right. So I go out, I test drive it a few times. You know what I mean? I test drive it down the street this way, I test drive down the street this way. So I said, well, man, let me call my friend Romeo. Romeo, he knows everything. Maybe he can break it down for me so I can understand it. So Romeo tells me, all right, yeah, you know, when you have to change that starter, you have to take apart, you have to take off these plugs for the fuel injectors, you have to take off the intake, you got to do this. He's breaking it down into detail where I can understand it. I still really don't understand it, but I understand it more when he's breaking it down to me. So he says, you have to take it back. He said, you have to tell those people to go through their work and make sure they did everything correctly. And I'm like, all right, you know. And he says the biggest thing was these clips. Basically, there's on every fuel injector, there's like a plug on the top of it, right? And each plug, you have to push it down until it clicks into these clips, right? And he says if you don't push those down, it'll give a misfire. And so I go back to the guy, and I go back to the shop, and I start talking to the mechanic. Luckily, they had pointed the mechanic out to me. So I go straight up to him, start doing my little policeman routine, which is a lot of people don't know. Policemen be playing dumb. They be acting like, I don't know what you're talking about. When in their mind, they have more evidence than it leads to what they actually know. So I do that. I'm talking to this guy playing dumb, asking him questions. Yeah, my friend said, the two ways to take it apart is to disconnect this and to disconnect the fuel injectors and blah, blah, blah. And he said that if you don't connect the fuel injector clips back properly, it might give a misfire, And he said, oh yeah, I checked over everything. I'm sure of it. I did this, and that. And, we talked for like a good 10, 15 minutes. And so he's like, all right, well, let me, pop the hood, and I'll show you where the clips are that your friend is talking about. So I'm like, all right, cool. I was gonna ask him to do that anyway. I'm like, I don't know what these clips is Romeo's talking about, but I want this guy to show me, right? You will not believe. I need to take a drink for this one. You will not believe. I popped the hood. I raised it up. This man, he has a pen in his hand. Like, I guess he was writing something. And he's pointing to this clip. Which is basically like a plug on top of the fuel injector. He said, yeah, these are the clips that your friend is talking about. Yeah, he's saying that if these are not in good, blah, 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 bloop. Like, he basically barely touches it with a pen. And this clip just falls out. The plug just falls off. And I'm like, bruh, really? Oh, this is the guy that says, oh, I've checked over everything. I made sure, bruh. And I'm looking at dude like, really? I don't know how that happened. Let me plug this back up. So he plugs it back in. And then he's like, all right, we go through and check all of them. I'm like, now I'm skeptical. I'm like, bro, if you didn't plug that one in, how about the rest of them? So we check all the rest of them, right? All the rest of them are good. But that plug was loose. So he's like, go ahead, give it a start. I started up. The thing runs fine. Still has the check engine light on. But he says he can clear that. And it's just because it had misfired before. So I go test drive it down the street. I call my boy Romeo, and I'm like, bro, like, you're a freaking genius. You're a freaking genius. Like, he fixed my car, and he wasn't even there. Cheers. So, yeah. I got my truck back. Yes, sir. I got my truck back. Came home this evening. Once my wife got home, I finished up a job for my neighbor. And, I'm back to work. I basically got the leaves up in his yard. He wanted me to get leaves up all in his front yard. Leaves just started falling in our area. My yard is crazy. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get the leaves up in my yard. Then I'm going to take them to the dump. And then I'm going to come home, get my lawnmower, go cut some yards over on the south side. And then I got to get a load of dirt, fill dirt. So, yeah. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me, man. I got a whole bunch of jobs lined up that I have to try to get done before the GIE next week, so but I love it. I love it. I know I tell y'all, like, I'm the type of person that procrastinates and pushes stuff to the last minute, and I have to figure out how I'm gonna get it done. And some people, that stresses them out, it gives them anxiety. But me, I love it. Like I said, I got a few $1,000s worth of work that I can potentially get done within the week. before the GIE Expo. And I have a little bit of time to do it. And I love it. I don't think y'all understand. This is why I went full time, bro. This is why I went full time. You know, you have a slow week. Not every month is going to be a good month. September wasn't a good month for me. October is going to be a good month for me, bro. And I'm super excited about leaf cleanup. I got another Tipsy talk I need to do about leaf cleanup and potential equipment that I want to get for the fall winter season. So stay tuned for that. Anywho, I'm about to get back in the house. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Yes, sir.